We turn now to a News 5 investigation. This Colorado Springs homeowner was assaulted outside her own house. Her neighbor coming to the rescue and holding the alleged attacker at gunpoint until police arrived. This may sound like a classic neighbors looking out for neighbors story, but that's not how police saw it. Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Ross is live outside the courthouse to explain. Eric.
Allison, good afternoon. While the alleged attacker was ultimately charged with disorderly conduct, the alleged victim, who was punched multiple times, was also charged with disorderly conduct, while the neighbor who came to her rescue and held that alleged attacker at gunpoint until police arrived was facing felony menacing charges. Now, it was surveillance video obtained by News 5 Investigates and aired right here on our 4 o'clock show back in September that was a critical piece of evidence here in court in clearing their names. Surveillance video shows a suspicious car at 5 in the morning driving up and down Lisa FLOYD Street. You can see the car going up the road, then in reverse, and moments later, another camera angle shows the same white sedan parking in front of a neighbor's mailbox. The driver gets out of the car, then gets back in. Lisa, who was awakened by loud car noise, grabbed her phone and went outside to see what was going on.
I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm delivering mail." And I said, at 5 in the morning, I said, "This has been going on since 3:30.
Lisa threatened to call police if the woman didn't leave the neighborhood.
So I walked around, went to take the picture. She jumped out of the car and started hitting me.
This camera angle shows as Lisa goes around the back to take a picture of the suspicious car's license plate. A woman, later identified as Nia Smith, gets out.
She had knocked off my glasses and my phone.
We counted a total of 5 punches before Smith realizes she didn't put her car in park, which rolled down the hill and hit 2 other cars. That's when Lisa dials 911.
I was just assaulted by some girl out here in a car saying she was delivering. Now she's hit another car.
The commotion woke up Lisa's next-door neighbor, Larry, who came out with a World War II handgun. He says Lisa was in the middle of the street asking for help while Smith was back in her car.
The lights came on, the engine started, and she was backing out. And that's when I put the gun up to the window and said, "Get the keys out of ignition, get out of the car," because Lisa had called down to me from the top of the hill that, "Don't let her leave, I've been assaulted." I had no idea whether she had been knife shot or what was going on. So I thought I had done well.
But police did not believe Larry's actions were appropriate, and Larry, a senior citizen with no criminal history, was now charged with felony menacing and facing prison time. Lisa was charged with disorderly conduct, even though video evidence shows she was not the aggressor.
We were unaware of that video at that time.
Lieutenant Jim Sokolik said at the time everyone was charged, police did not have the video that we had. Instead, officers made charging decisions based on each person's account of what unfolded on this street.
The officer is doing the best they can at that point in time with the information they have to make that determination of a probable cause, but they are not the jury. That's really what the court system is for. So obviously, if you get arrested and you feel that you're arrested incorrectly or that there's other factors, that is what court is for to go to explain. That's part of our judicial system.
Sokolik explained that once someone has been arrested and charged with a crime, they can't just drop a case. But we did make sure both police and the district attorney's office had the same video evidence that we obtained. The DA's office ultimately filing motions in court to dismiss charges against Lisa and her neighbor Larry. We caught up with them after their court appearances.
We had to raise a fuss thanks to the Channel 5 coverage and my lawyer to even get the videotape to where the DA could see it. Or this whole thing would have just proceeded right down the road without that security footage, which made all the difference in the world.
There was nobody holding them accountable except for you, and questioning what's going on. You have kept in contact. You took, even though what we were facing, just knowing that someone was hearing us, was hearing the truth, was a huge weight lifted off, just and a comfort to know that somebody was looking out for us.
As for Nia Smith, the woman seen on camera punching Lisa, she has a pretrial readiness conference scheduled for February. Allison?
And circling back, the neighbor who thought he was doing the right thing by holding an attacker at gunpoint until police arrived What role did the video evidence play in getting his case dismissed? Because we didn't actually see him in any of that video footage.
Yeah, but you know, Allison, that video was so critical in painting a picture of the attack in the moments leading up to Larry coming outside and then holding that attacker at gunpoint. You know, Larry even admits, had that attack not been caught on camera, he would likely be up a creek without a paddle. Things could have gone really, really bad for him. And a lot of people say, well, you know what, you have a right to protect yourself and your property, and that is true. However, this case falls under a little bit of a gray area because you have a third-party neighbor coming out who actually didn't witness the assault firsthand and then took action. So things could have been absolutely horrible for him. It worked out in his favor, and I'll toss things back to you, Allison, in just a minute, but I wanted to touch on this because I recently took a concealed carry class, and one of the speakers, I will never forget this, said that it doesn't necessarily matter if you're found innocent in court, whether the case is dismissed, you can still have lifelong impacts from your actions. Case in point, Larry has had to spend thousands of dollars on court costs and attorney's fees just to get this case dismissed. That's money he could have used on his retirement that he will never be able to recover. Allison?
Eric, thank you. A lot of great research and work there.